Hello YouTube, this is Zone Soldier 86 coming back to you with another tutorial on how to make levels in Super Smash Brothers. And to be honest with you guys, I am getting a little tired of saying that over and over again. So I'm going to discontinue giving that little vocal introduction. Obviously, if you've been following along by now with this playlist, you are clear that this is a tutorial series on how to make levels in Super Smash Brothers, and you don't need me to say it every time. So you can follow along with the titles on the YouTube playlist as to what we're working on in each video. So let's talk a little bit about what's been accomplished so far. We did get a nice background foliage texture right here, and what I did is I cleaned it up so that we would have a black border around this, and what that will allow us to do is expand and contract this texture at will in the modeling software and create kind of a seamless texture that'll be really, really nice to work with. I also took the opportunity to do the same thing with a little bit more of a complex piece of foliage that I grabbed from, let's see if I can find that texture. Yeah, this palette that we used is kind of a generic Sonic 2 palette that has a bunch of objects from the different levels within the game. I found this chunk, I guess, of foliage that is used as a crusher in Sonic 2 and copied that and pasted it into its own 64 by 64 pixel image. And you can see kind of from that how I manipulated this to make it work. I copied and pasted and, fiddled around with it to kind of make it look nice. And I added that black border. Now, when I did that, it looked very kind of blocky, very squarish. And what I did is right here, I took the pencil tool with the black back color, and I just kind of smoothed out all of these areas to make it look a little bit more natural, so that when we tessellate it, it still won't get that squarish look. It'll be nice and round. And looking at it from a background perspective, it will tessellate very nicely. You can see that even like this chunk right here might use a little bit of smoothing. Let's do a little example of that right here. Just kind of smooth things out a little bit so that it doesn't look like it's intentionally pixelated. Yeah, just adding little chunks of black here and there to help kind of smooth things out. To see how this is a long line like this, that doesn't look very good. So we're going to just kind of smooth that out. This one too. There we go. And zooming back out, we can see it looks a little bit nicer. Maybe this could use a little bit smoothing. Anyway, that's not really the topic I have for today's video. You can mess with this as you will. But my topic is transparent textures, and we are going to try doing one of them for this particular level. I don't like using transparent textures because they don't look very good in the emulated version. When you use something like EverDrive 64 and you play on real hardware, for some reason I just cannot get these textures to look very good. But we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. If you play on something like Project 64 that's emulated through a computer, it will look fine. So we're going to go ahead and take this image, which is a ring that is used as kind of like a chain link to connect like these platforms that are used in like Sonic 2. And this is one of those rings. We're going to say copy, and we're going to say new. 16 by 16 is fine. We're going to paste. And there's really nothing different about transparent textures. One thing I do want to take note of is that this is kind of messy. If we look at it from a distance, it's got a lot of colors and a lot of things going on here. So instead of this turquoise color, I'm going to go ahead and fill that in with just this regular green, just to kind of clean that up a little bit. Transparent textures are very finicky. They don't translate well if they are multiple different colors. So I like to try to keep it to one or two colors if possible. Now, here's where the magic happens. We're going to do this quickly. Magic wand. And we're going to make sure our tolerance is set fairly low. We're going to be pixelated selection quality and flood mode global. We're going to click on this purplish bluish background because that's the image that we do not want. We do not want that alpha there. And we're going to click the delete key. Now we get some sort of a checkerboard background, but what this did is this created the transparency we're going to need so that this particular texture is going to be transparent in game. So that's all there is to it. We'll make sure we save it as a regular BMP file, and we'll come back to you with the next part of how to doing textures in this series.